rebel, a challenger, a risk taker. The one who believes in the power of the underdog. Blazing its own trail, refusing to conform, daring to be great.
No mercy for you guys, man. Let's go together. 1, 2, 3, together.
Doncic. As he loses one into Lively. Washington.
Dancing, prancing, pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Domination by the Mavericks.
Each chapter brings new challenges. We've defied expectations, shattered records, and redefined what it means to play for this city. This time, everything is up for grabs, and we always gonna stand on business.
Hey, man, what's going on, Derek? How are you?
What's up, buddy? Oh, pretty good.
Oh, man, doing good, man. Crazy trade right before we went live.
Yes, it was.
Very surprising trade. But
So there's a little more to it that kind of just popped up.
There's something that just changed on it, like literally like now.
It's where everybody's going.
Yes. So before we hop into this, let's run a quick ad, and then we're going to start breaking down some of these trades that's happened since Sunday. There hadn't been a ton, but there has been some. More of them have been today. Hey, Brandon, how are you, man? You doing all right?
What's up, Brandon?
So let's do that, and then we'll hop right into this and get this NBA trade stuff going.
Ncaa Tees is located in Longview, Texas. They are owned by Naomi Simmons. They specialize in making all kinds of custom apparel and hats for any occasion. You can scan the QR code on the screen to go to her Facebook, give her a call at 903-985-9120, or even email her at comanchetees24@gmail.com.
Hey, Derek, real quick, too, before we start, I want to put this up here at the beginning. Guys, as I've been doing this in the end, but I really want to push this out in the beginning. If you haven't followed us on all of our social medias and all of our streaming websites we're on, or just our listening websites, as well as like Spotify and Apple Music, if you scan this QR code here, it'll take you to all the links, and you can just follow us straight from there. So if y'all could, please, I'll leave this up here a few minutes, and if y'all could do that, that would be awesome. But yeah, Derek, what do you think about the just a basic overall of the trade so far? You think any of them are good, or what do you think about them all so far? Obviously, we know the Luka and the AD and the De'Aaron Fox and San Antonio. We know those, but the ones I guess since then.
I do. I'll tell you what I do like. I do like the Golden State Jimmy trade.
Mm-hmm.
For the fact that I don't think
there we go.
Whoa. There we
go.
I don't think it's over. And the reason that I don't think it's over is because they kept Kuminga
Mm-hmm.
and they've still got Buddy, and I think they can make a couple more trades. I'm hearing I can't think of his name, the center for Chicago, Vujicic, I think.
Oh, he's yes, Vujicic. Yep, he's
Yeah,
still out there.
I'm hearing that they might try to go get him.
Oh.
So that would be good, depending on what they give up, kind of thing. But I do not like the Jimmy trade because I don't know if Jimmy and Draymond can play together.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Well, real quick, let me check the comments. Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah, Brennan, definitely. I think you told me about that. I'm gonna have to check that out. So I do have some stuff up here. This trade here, I mean, it's not a big trade. It was the Boston Celtics are trading Jaden Springer and their 2030 second round pick to the Houston Rockets. I don't really know. This is probably just getting rid of some cap.
That's all it is. Yeah.
Cap and then Houston just getting a pick out of it. That's about all that is. So there's really wasn't nothing to that. This was a great pickup for the Thunder. You're not really sure with Chet what's going on. Like, we know he's been injured. Well, he's been injured for most of the year. You don't really know when he's coming back. And Daniel Theis is he actually is not bad offensively, but he's the defensive rim protector, and he gets the rebounds.
You know who he is?
He's
Birdman for the Nuggets and for the Heat. He's going to be your energy guy off the bench. He's going to get your rebounds. He's going to give you 5 or 6 fouls. He's going to make people earn it.
Okay.
That's okay because it's going to give Chet or whoever's in there that break for those few minutes that he can come in, and you're not losing a whole lot defensively. You're losing a good bit offensively. He's not great offensively, but he's decent.
Yeah, I mean he's okay around the basket. Like he did it, Derek. You put it. I mean, the way your comparison is, I think, spot on. He's Birdman. He's the Birdman of this generation. Like he does what he's asked to do. He's not flashy offensively. He's gonna get you the rebounds. He's gonna block. And not that the Thunder are needing anything now. I think this was the move for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they're unsure of the Chet situation. They need another big man. So this was a move, really. I think. I mean,
and I think that's a perfect way to put that, because in the playoff, you're going to need that guy that can give whoever
going against a Jokic or a Wemby,
10 minutes a game that somebody can rest, or both your bigs can rest. On and off 10 minutes a game. And like I said, you don't have to worry about Chet going in there banging and getting fouls because you got this guy that can come in. That's how – I forgot who it was, but they were talking about people that changed the game. Steph Curry with the 3 and this and that. That they explained it back in the early 2000s when Shaq was so dominant. Teams had to get rid of 2 guards on the roster and bring in 2 big men because they knew that the bigs were going to have to foul Shaq. And that's where the whole hack of Shaq came in, and that's why they brought those big guys in to just foul Shaq. That was their job.
Yep. I could tell you right now, Greg Popovich was one of the most. Every time Shaq was down on that end, he fouled him every time because he knew he was either missing both or he was guaranteed to miss one. So
my favorite Greg Popovich, and this is the God's honest truth, my favorite Greg Popovich memory was, I believe Shaq was in Phoenix. There was a jump ball, and they immediately fouled him. And Shaq looks over at him, and he's just giving him 2 thumbs up.
Because he already knew.
He knew.
Yeah. Because he's like, I've seen this 1,000 times. Popovich did that a lot to Shaq. I mean, and it slowed the game down, but it was taking points away from the other team. I mean, there's nobody like that nowadays. I mean, because pretty much everyone can shoot free throws, but yeah, that was, yeah. But yeah, great pickup for the Thunder. I think, like I said, I think this prepares them for, like I said, not really knowing what's going on with Chet when he's coming back, and it just gives them that kind of defensive rebounder just to kind of hold it down. especially when the playoffs come. Because if they have to play the Jokic or the ADs, or again even like the Wembys of if San Antonio gets to that opportunity, there's someone there to guard those players. They have that guy. So a great pickup for the Thunder. I love this trade, Derek. I don't know how you felt about it being a Mavericks fan. I actually loved it for the Mavericks because they get Caleb Martin, great defender. He can shoot the ball, adds to, the pieces they already have. Not that Quentin Grimes, he's more of a shooter, but I think with Caleb Martin, you're kind of getting that defensive player that I think Dallas needs. They can always. I mean, every team can always improve defensively, but I think getting Caleb Martin was not a bad deal.
The only thing that I don't like about it is the contract. Like I know
Yes.
it's not that much. It's 4 for 28, but it still ties you up.
Oh yeah, it ties you up because he just signed that last year with the 76ers.
And especially how good Christie looked last night.
Christie, listen,
that's 3-and-D guy.
That's your 3-and-D. Yes, that was. I have. And we'll talk about this after we get through the trade.
I seen what he said today about that. He was not too happy about the trade.
No, he was not. Embiid really wanted Martin.
I'll tell you what. I'm a little not excited. That was the complete wrong word. I don't know where my head just was. I'm shocked that there was not hardly any Joel Embiid talk. Now I know he's been hurt, but with Philly being so bad this year, and I'm not knocking y'all, Sean, so don't come at me. But as bad
get him, Sean.
As bad as Philly has been this year, I'm surprised that they didn't throw him out there and just kind of see what would stick.
Well, I think at this point, I'm surprised that there isn't a lot of throwing out of everybody because if Luka got thrown out there, I liked what they said. Someone said it. I think it was I forgot what player it was, but they said nobody's safe, right? Nobody's safe anymore. So I am surprised that they did not move. Or I mean, again, we still have till technically 2 p.m. tomorrow our time, but 3 p.m. Central or 3 p.m. Eastern time when the trade deadline technically ends. But I'm surprised they have not moved or he hasn't won out, which was Paul George. I mean, they're not going to do nothing this year. Tyrese Maxey is their best player. I mean, when Embiid is healthy, he's their best player. I mean, he played great last night, but I mean,
what I think is going to happen with that situation, I think Philly's going to wait a year too long to move him. I think that they're going to try to ride him maybe one more year, maybe let him get healthy in the summer, ride him another year,
see what they can do.
See what they can do.
Yeah.
And then if they don't do anything, the following offseason, maybe try to move him. And I think it's going to be 1 year too late. I think the teams that are looking at him, there's no such thing as a healthy
Embiid. I mean, you're right. He's only played 50% of his games.
50%.
He's made like over 200 million. So yeah. I mean, well, Sean, I mean, the reason being that he's not healthy is, I mean, he
carried the load.
Well, not only that, but he's what Greg Oden was supposed to be. Greg Oden was supposed to be a Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid's half of what Greg Oden, because I mean, Embiid's only been healthy half the time. But Greg Oden was supposed to be Joel Embiid. That was supposed to be the Joel Embiid of our time, like before our time, really. And he was always hurt. The bigger you are, the more health problems you have. I mean, look at Zion Williamson, just the weight itself, health problems. Yeah. I mean, it's just part of it. And I think Derek, I'm right there in that 1 to 2 year time span. I think that, if Philly doesn't get it going to where they can I'll go as far as saying if they don't make it to a conference championship, I see them breaking this up. Embiid gone, Maxey gone. They're going to just get a bunch of picks and start over.
Yeah.
I mean, because I mean, I don't know, maybe not Maxey because he's pretty young. He's only been in a 2, 3, maybe 4 years, so maybe.
So I seen something yesterday that blew my mind. And I don't know if anybody else saw this. A.J. Brown was at the 76ers game the other day. And him and Maxey, shook hands after the game. Tyrese Maxey is taller than A.J. Brown.
Tyrese Maxey's pretty big. I think he's like 6'6". Maybe.
But he's like 6'3".
Is he really?
Yeah, and to see them side by side, dude, it was weird to know that was a star NFL receiver, smaller than a point guard in the NBA. And it was the kind of the caption was just so you can see how big NBA guys really are.
Yeah, no, they're massive. Seeing them on TV is nothing like seeing them in person. It's absolutely insane seeing them in person. I mean, I like I said, I like this deal. I hate the contract Dallas has to take on, but from the player standpoint, it's a good move for him. I mean,
but now that I will say this, that was the $6 million that Davis rejected. That was his trade kicker that he turned down.
They were able to get him.
So yes, I think that was already in the works.
I think as soon as Davis, once he waived that, I think this was already at that point, this was in the works.
Yeah.
I would say Dallas is probably done unless they would give up somebody else that they have to be able to bring in someone with a matching or even a less contract. But other than that, I don't see Dallas making any more moves.
I think Dallas is going to say, going forward, they're going to try to beat teams like the 04-05 Pistons. They're going to try to win 95-90. They're going to try to let Kyrie and AD lead the way scoring, and just hope defensively that they just shut everybody down. And which they very well could. I mean, they've got 3 great rim protectors. They've got 2 great 3-and-D guys. You've got Kyrie that can kind of hold himself on at the 1 with anybody. Clay is hit and miss on both sides of the ball, so you don't really know. But now that you've got Martin, you can rotate Martin, Christie, P.J. Washington, can be like a bigger 2 if needed. That matchup with A.J. Brown. So yeah, I mean I'm excited to see defensively what they do.
Yeah, I agree with you, and we'll talk more about. I have some more thoughts about this whole Dallas Lakers thing. I've been thinking about it. Obviously I watched the games, or I watched a lot of highlights from the game. Listen, I didn't watch the games, but I watched a lot of highlights, and I think my mind's changed on a few things that make more sense now. So we'll talk about that when we get done with these trades. The Bucks traded Chris Middleton, not surprised. A.J. Johnson and a pick swap to the Wizards for Kyle Kuzma, Patrick Brown Jr., and a second-round draft compensation. Great moves for the Bucks. I think I said this earlier in the group chat that I thought that they moved on because he's been injured a lot, so he's not really here. Kyle Kuzma, I think it's a great trade. I mean, you get a younger version of a Chris Middleton type player that didn't want to be in Washington anyways, which, I mean, who wants to be in Washington right now? Yeah. They're terrible. I don't expect Chris Middleton to stay there. I would expect him to either get bought out or waived or whatever. There's no way he stays there.
I hate that for Chris Middleton. Because
I do too.
He had an opportunity to leave Milwaukee, in which he got a ring in Milwaukee. So let's not just go right past that. I mean, it was him and Giannis that won
for the longest. Yeah. Even before the title, it was him and Giannis for the longest time.
And to go from the 5th seed in the East to dead last in the NBA,
yeah, that's tough.
I think they did him dirty. He took a pay cut to stay in Milwaukee instead of testing the free agent market. I absolutely hate that for Chris Middleton, and I think he stays the rest of the year. Maybe they try to move him on draft night or something. Maybe he's auditioning for a job the back end of the season. But yeah, I absolutely hate that for him.
Yeah, I do too. I hate it for him because I mean I still think he can play. Maybe this move to Washington gets him an opportunity to like get. I mean, I think he's been healthy. I think for most this year, I think he was out for a little while, but maybe it gives him a chance to like
Fresh start.
fresh start. Maybe
Let
get
me tell you what I
fully
would like
help.
to happen.
Well,
I
because
would like. Go
here's
ahead.
what I was thinking is like obviously Washington doesn't make the playoffs, so he's not going to be in the playoffs. If he stays there, he'll have an extra, you know, 2 months of getting healthy. The next year he could go elsewhere and start like super fresh, healthy off the jump, and kind of just revamp him. I could see, I think a good team that could use him, and call me crazy, Derek, would be a Memphis. Don't call me crazy, an OKC, somebody like a younger team that needs a veteran that they're kind of missing that wing player.
I like the Memphis. I will tell you what I would love to see happen. Just for the simple fact of how crappy he was done and the situation. Nobody wants to go to Washington. I mean that.
Oh, are you going to say Cleveland?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
I would love for Middleton to put on a show. The back half.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 15-1, 15-2, something crazy, and Washington misses out on the number 1 pick. I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. And because I kind of almost think that this was a tanking move, like you said. Middleton's been hurt.
Oh yeah.
So he could very easily get hurt again and be out for 40% of the last season games. But I would love to see them go on a run and cost themselves the number 1 pick, and then Middleton ask for a trade, which I don't think he will because he's a great NBA player. Like, I mean, all around. Like, he doesn't complain. He doesn't do none of that. He just plays ball.
And he has. I mean, he's not. This isn't like this isn't like, hey, I'm traded, I'm done. Like I have nothing left. He still can play ball.
Absolutely.
I think he'll be. I mean, maybe he does finish this year out, but I don't expect him to be in Washington long term, because they're rebuilding. I mean, they are. If they weren't rebuilding, they don't get rid of Kyle Kuzma because he's young. So, but excuse me. Let's see. What is obviously the one that just broke? Now that we know more details, obviously, Jimmy Butler is going to Golden State. But the kicker is obviously he is signing a 2-year, $121 million extension. So, I mean, he's getting 60.5 mil a year.
Yeah.
To go to Golden State when he had came and said he wasn't going to extend. And on top of this, let's just go ahead and put the rest of the deal out there. So Dennis Schroeder is headed to Utah. Kyle Anderson was supposed to go to Toronto, but that's fallen through. So technically, he is going to, as of now, would be going to Utah unless they figure that out. There has not been an. Let me see if there.
Well, I've seen one that had Kyle Anderson going to.
No, I lied. Kyle Anderson is going to Miami.
PJ Tucker's going to Miami as well.
Yeah,
somewhere in the deal.
Hold on, let me refresh this. Let me see if this has been updated since we started. Let's see. Okay, so here it is. Miami is keeping Kyle Anderson for now. Wiggins, Tucker, and Anderson are in Miami.
Yeah.
Along with the Warriors pick. So that's how it is currently. This was 13 minutes ago. That's the trade now. But I do want to throw this out there. This just happened right after that. I mean, it's been since we've been live. But there are people going after Lonzo Ball. Just that's a new update that people are suitors going after Lonzo Ball. So that tells me the Bulls are in a rebuild mode.
Lonzo. I'm thinking LaMelo.
Oh, you're talking. I said Ball. Yeah. I mean Lonzo. Yeah. Lonzo. Yeah. So, so that's someone that could possibly get moved here in the next,
24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But about this trade, I was shocked in the beginning because he said he didn't want to resign. So I was thinking, well, the Warriors are dumb. You're bringing someone in that's already said they don't going to resign. So it's a 1 year rental or half a year rental. You're giving up Wiggins. Dennis Schroeder just got there. He got traded because of his racial remark he made. I mean, I'm not sure if you saw that, but
No, I didn't see that one.
so he was saying that the NBA trade line is like slavery now or
Oh,
something.
yeah. Yes.
So
Yeah.
as soon as he said that, they put him on the trade market. And then Kyle Anderson, I think that's just part of the deal. But at first I was like,
That
this is
frustrates me. Like I don't
I
want
mean,
to go down that road, but like that right there, I tie that in with Colin Kaepernick when he was talking about how the NFL was like slavery, but yet they want to stay in it. Like I get out of it if that's what you think it is.
yeah, no, I agree.
That's my whole take on that. Like if I put my hand on the stove and my hand's burning, I'm not gonna leave my hand on the stove. I'm gonna take my hand off the stove.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, now that he's extended, I think it's a good move. It sucks losing the Andrew Wiggins part, but you're getting Jimmy Butler. Um, I mean, does this? I mean, Derek, let me ask you this: does this move, just this move here, does this put Golden State as an actual contender in your opinion? This one move, one move.
Let me see.
Does this make them a championship contender? Not a Western Conference contender, but an actual championship contender. Because you make moves like this to become a contender for a championship,
I'm gonna say not this year. I think they're a Western Conference contender this year. I think they're in like 11th or 12th. They're like the last place in the play-in right now.
Yeah.
And
actually, hold on. Not to kind of, but let's see, where are they?
They're in 10th. Okay.
So they're 10th. So they're in the play-in right now as we speak.
Yeah. Okay. Go back to that right quick. Like make this make sense to me. 25 and 24, 25 and 24, 25 and 24. The Mavericks, 26 and 25 and 11. How do you win more games, but you're behind? But anyway, okay, we can get off of that. We'll come back to that in a little bit.
Yeah. I'm going to bring that back up. Yeah.
I think this makes them a playoff team this year. Okay. I think how far they go depends on Jimmy and Draymond, because Kevin Durant really wasn't hot-headed, and him and Draymond got into it. Jimmy is hot-headed. Jimmy is out there.
Yeah.
If Jimmy and Draymond don't get in a fight during practice, I'll be surprised. That's where I'm at. I don't know if you've ever heard the story of Jimmy Butler in Minnesota. When training camp started, I just seen it. Training camp started, and he was like 2 weeks late for that. And the preseason was fixing to start. Well, he came in right before that, and they had a practice. And he was just over there like getting stretched out. He wasn't even practicing with them. Old Tibbs said within the scrimmage, Jimmy, and he named off all the starters. He said, no, I'm not playing with them. I'm playing with the G League guys. So he got 4 G League guys and beat the first team like 16-5 or something like that. And he guarded Cat the whole time. And all he was doing was stealing and rebounding and passing. He never scored a bucket with the G League guys, and they won. And he cussed everybody out and hollered at everybody and talking about, you pay me, they trash. And it's like, if that Jimmy comes to Golden State, him and Draymond are fighting. I'm just telling you right now, they're fighting.
Oh, yeah, they're going to fight. I mean, the fact that he did that, I mean, could you imagine at what that team could have been? I mean, Jimmy was on some teams, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm with you. I think they contend in the Western Conference. I don't know if they make it to the Western Conference Finals, but I think this definitely puts them in the playoffs.
No, there's absolutely.
I mean, I'm
shot.
thinking. Like, I'm not even going to go. They're definitely not on OKC's level. They're not on Memphis. They're not on Houston. I'm not even going to say they could beat Denver in a 7-game series. And Denver is not what they used to be when they won the championship. So I think they're a player, whether it's a role player. They're not there. But
That's what's going to hurt them. They are so strapped for cash between Steph and now Jimmy.
yeah.
Like, how do they maneuver all of that?
Well, somebody's come if they're going to want to add, somebody's going to lose their own pocket money because they ain't got no other team money to spend because
yeah,
they're
gonna be in that luxury tax.
Shoot, luxury. I mean, this gonna be super negative.
Yeah. But I mean, you figure if you're 40 million over, but you're making 70 million because you're making it to the finals. So I mean, I guess it's not as bad to pay it.
Yeah, I mean, again, if it's the right move, then it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But that's all the trades that have happened so far. I expect tomorrow to be pretty active because it's the last. Like I said, we're 8 a.m. is 12. We have about
12, 15 hours.
15 to 17 hours away from it ending. So, and I think, Vujicic will be moved. I'm still curious what's going on with Phoenix. I don't really know. I mean, I knew KD didn't want to come back to Golden State. So I knew that was, I mean, they tried, but I knew he wasn't coming back. So I'm curious if they move or add.
I don't think they moved now. I think Jimmy thing screwed them. Not screwed them, but I mean, that's where.
Well, I was hearing that they tried really hard to move Bradley Beal, and they just never could get the deal. Like there was never a deal that worked out. So I mean, I don't know what you go get now. I don't know what you go get.
Let me ask you this. I'll put this in the chat for everybody. If it happens, if there's some kind of way it could work out.
Oh yeah.
And he gets to Dallas.
You talking about
if KD gets to Dallas, Kyrie, KD, and AD. What does that do for the Western Conference?
That's tough.
It depends on who you give up now. Let's. It depends on what Dallas gives up.
You're going to have to. I'm going to tell you who they're going to have to give up. They're going to give up Lively. He's going to go. He's their best. He's their best youngest piece that they have right now.
Yeah. I think Washington is in the deal.
I think PJ Washington could be in the deal.
I think Hardy would be in the deal.
Hardy might be in the deal. I mean, yeah.
And I think multiple picks.
Oh, the Dallas is going to lose picks. At least I'm going to say there's going to be at least 3 picks in there. Brandon, I was ready.
Yeah, I'm watching it too.
Hey, listen, Darren Fox. Listen, I'm going to tell you something, man. He played great for his first game. He had 22 at the half. I'm not sure what he ended with. Let me see. Oh man, they look good, man. Let me tell you what I love about this.
What if KD went to the Spurs?
Oh, dude, they'd win. Oh my God, they'd win.
You think about it. They kept everybody. They kept the whole core and got Fox. What if you sent all that plus pick?
Oh no, they won't win it. The young core is what I love the most about this team.
I did too. But I mean, you're going to win that.
Could you? But hear this out. Could you imagine have to go in the paint through a KD and Wemby type? Oh my God, defensively, I mean, well, Brandon, KD's not going there. He doesn't want to go back.
That was the slimiest. Since it's up, I'll say that was the slimiest and worst. That was by far crappier than LeBron going to the Heat.
Listen, KD went to Golden State to win championships. That's the only reason. Once he got his, listen,
it's all about money.
I mean, think about it. It's not even about. I mean, it is about money, but
I'm talking about after he got the 2. That's why he went to Brooklyn.
I mean,
That's why
listen,
he went.
he got he got 2, right? Okay. Did he need? I mean, he was MVP. He was the best player to me on those championship teams. He was MVP in one of them, right?
He needed it. He needed it.
He needed that. He needed the team to get him over the hump. But once KD got that, I think at this point in his career, I mean, yes, I think he would love to win another championship. But at the same time, with as much money as these guys get paid, and he's worth a lot of money still. I mean, the crazy thing about it is Phoenix is not a bad team. I don't know what's wrong with Phoenix.
I'm gonna give you a hot take here.
I don't know how they're 500.
I'm gonna give a little hot take. Okay. Oh yeah, Mavericks will be in Vegas in 4 years. That's the plan. The owners. Okay, hang on. Don't get me off track, Brandon. I'm gonna come back to that though. I'm gonna leave it on the screen.
Hey, by the way, Derek, I saw an article about this whole thing. This whole. I'm interested to hear you say you have something to talk about. I'll leave it up there because I have a very interesting. I mean, like I said, I've thought about a lot of things that have happened over the last. I mean, what happened. And we'll talk about it in a minute. Go ahead. You have something on your mind? Go ahead. I don't want to get you off your thought.
The hot take about KD. KD needed those championships because his legacy took a hit when Harden went to Houston and won an MVP, and then KD left and Russ won the MVP, averaging a triple-double. That right there shows the talent that KD was surrounded with. While, yeah, he was great. He did win the MVP in OKC. So, I mean, he is up there. I mean, obviously, he was great. But LeBron, D-Wade didn't win the MVP. Bosh hadn't won an MVP. You know, so you could almost argue that KD had the best talent around him and never won. So his legacy, he needed that.
Oh yeah, he did. He definitely needed it. I mean, he needed those championships, and like I said, you know, Katie's listen. He's still in his prime. I think he's on the. I mean,
he's on the back end.
He's on the back end of it, but he's still in his prime. Real quick, did you see the Jonas Valanciunas move to Sacramento?
Sacramento, yeah.
Why? What does that do for that team? Because you already have Sabonis. Why do you bring in? I mean, I'm sorry.
Sabonis back at the 4. I think now.
I know that's his original position, but that I mean, is Sacramento? Are they actually trying to build a team with what they have with the Levines or the DeRozans now? Sabonis. Now you add Valanciunas. Are they actually trying to make a run this year with that team? Because I don't know if
they're in 8th. Okay, they're in 8th. So let's just look. Their biggest problem is point guard. They got Malik Monk. Not bad, but not great.
He's not bad.
Now you have with Valanciunas, you have a front court of Valanciunas, Sabonis, and Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray is a great stretch 4. If you wanted to go big, if you wanted to play big ball, you put Valanciunas at the 5, Sabonis at the 4, Murray at the 3, DeRozan at the 2, and Levine at your 1. Now you're playing big boy ball. Like and everybody out there can shoot. Everybody can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like it. I still think they're not. They don't have a lot of depth. I don't think they make the playoffs this year. But I think that core, they can make the playoffs the next 2 or 3 years, I think. I think that they're good enough. But with what we got on the screen, that's kind of what I've seen and what I've read and the Mavericks kind of pages that I've been on, all this and that. So the owners of the Mavericks are casino people.
Hey, I'm listening. I got to run and grab something real quick, but keep talking.
Okay. They're casino people. That's what they want. So they have put the Mavericks in a 3 or 4 year window right now. That's where they're at. They're in a 3 or 4 year window because Kyrie's probably going to sign a 2-year extension. AD might sign a 2-year extension, and that's where they're going to be at. The next 2 to 4 years are a win now for the Mavericks. If they don't, all them people are coming off the books. The Mavericks will be atrocious, and the plan is to try to move them to Vegas. The only thing that's going to save the Mavericks in Dallas, the owners want the Texas legislation to pass a bill where they can build a casino in Dallas. That's what they want. They want a casino to be built in Dallas. That's the only thing that'll save the Mavericks. They're trying to. They're not even tanking for picks. They're tanking for relocation.
Wow.
That's my whole take.
I read that. I mean, I pretty much read exactly what you're talking about, and that's disappointing from a fan, from my point of view.
Yeah.
For one, all it's about is money for these owners. I know a lot of them. I mean, money matters, but look at the Clippers. Steve Ballmer, he loves that team. Like, he actually loves that team. When he bought that team, he was one of the most,
he gets in the fan section and hollers with them.
Yes, like he is he's a fan and an owner. Again, when this trade happened, we all knew it was for the short term, not the long term. And hearing that, seeing that, that sucks for a fan base.
I will tell you right here, right now, I will not be a Mavericks fan if they move. I'm not going to be the Las Vegas Mavericks fan. I will go to Houston or probably San Antonio. I love San Antonio. The organization as a whole is great. But I will not be a Vegas fan.
No, I mean,
never get to watch it. Never. I mean,
that's just terrible to hear that.
What do we got here, Brandon? WNBA expansion. I hate this, and I talked about this Sunday. Brandon, I don't know if you saw this or not. There was a group of celebrities that put together a bid for a Tennessee WNBA team. And they were going to be the Tennessee Summits, to give a massive shout out to legendary coach Pat Summitt of the Tennessee Vols. And I thought that was absolutely brilliant. I thought that was spot on. I was behind that 100%. I hate that Charlotte was going to get a team. I think Houston would be great since we've got a team in Dallas. Or San Antonio needs a WNBA team. Those are big markets. Those are big markets.
Yeah, I wish they'd bring one back to San Antonio.
Yeah, Philly. I like Philly. I would love Orlando or Miami.
Charlotte though? Why Charlotte? I mean, I don't know. Charlotte just seems weird. That seems the oddball out.
Houston had a team at once.
They did.
So
I wouldn't even mind Detroit. Well, let's kind of talk about, here we got these standings. This was through last night, obviously. This isn't counting to tonight's games.
Yeah.
Our teams are right there beside each other, Mavericks, San Antonio, which is crazy because one has 5 more wins than the other. But they're right there beside each other.
They're right there beside, yeah.
Yeah, well, San Antonio won tonight, so they're 22 and 26. But I think Dallas, like I said, Dallas is pretty. I think they're done with the trades. I mean, again, I wouldn't at this point. Nothing would surprise me. I think we've been surprised, so nothing would surprise me. But I think with the team Dallas has, I think they could get at the least. I'm talking about the least because the injuries are going to hurt them until they get healthy. Dallas should be a top 6 seed at the very least.
I'm thinking 6 through 4 is where it's at.
Yes.
I don't know if Houston can keep up what they've got because they're really hot right now. I don't know if they peaked too early or they really are just that good.
Right.
I think the Kings fall off. I think the Clippers fall off. I'm going to go on a limb and say Clippers don't even make the play-in.
Yeah, I think the Clippers fall off.
Because Kawhi is so inconsistent. I mean, you don't know.
Yes.
You have no idea what Kawhi is doing.
I think the Clippers are actually the team out of the top 5 I would go the top 12 that don't make the play in. I think San Antonio makes the play in. I think with adding Fox and what I've seen tonight, I mean, he looked great. I mean, they barely swung by, Atlanta, but I mean, first game with him, he looked great. Obviously I've watched him, but now being he's on my team, dude, he is insanely quick.
Yeah.
They had pace tonight. They were running the floor. He's phenomenal. Not just offensively, but he's actually a good defender, better than what I thought he was. So I expect San Antonio to make the play in. I don't think they could get a top 6 because, I mean, look who's there now. Again, if I had to replace the Clippers with somebody, I'm going to say Dallas is going to be that team to replace the Clippers at that 6th seed. Like I said, at the lowest, I actually think Dallas could move up. I actually think they will. I think they could get 5 through 3 once they get healthy if they peak at the right time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. The West is always, I don't know. I say the West is always the best, but I mean, the East is actually pretty darn good this year, surprisingly. You have Cleveland up there. You got Boston, but Boston's kind of been losing. Knicks are kind of the Knicks. Pacers have been surprising in the last couple of weeks. They're winning games. They're not 500. Milwaukee keeps getting beat. I want to see Detroit move up to like that number 4, to be honest with you, man. Detroit, man, I think they're the sleeper team, in my opinion, this year in the East. Like, again, they're usually bottom of the totem pole. And, I don't know, man. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I think your Cleveland's, Boston, Knicks are your top 3 teams over there. And after that, it's just kind of whoever.
Yeah.
And then when you look over at the West, man, it's hard to say it's top 6 teams because you have Minnesota down the neck of the Clippers. And then look
the
at
Clippers down the neck of the Lakers. The Lakers down the neck of Ball.
It's crazy to think that San Antonio could make the play in at 21 and they're 22 and 26 right now, and it's just the West is it's always been so competitive.
I will tell you what makes it. Yeah, the East has always been weak for some reason.
Weak. I don't know why.
But I will tell you what I'm excited to see. Jimmy hadn't played in a month. And the Heat are sitting right there at the 7th seed. And all they did was add pieces to a team that's been staying afloat.
Mm-hmm.
And they added good pieces. I think they can make a little run. I think they go to probably the 4th seed. I think they can get there.
They definitely could.
I'm looking at Dallas's schedule the rest of the year. Man, tough. We've got just in February, we got Boston, Houston, Sacramento, Golden State, Miami, New Orleans, Golden State, Los Angeles, and Charlotte. That's just February. That's just to close February out. And then you go to March, and it's Milwaukee, Sacramento, Milwaukee, Memphis, Phoenix, back-to-back versus San Antonio, Houston, Philly, Indiana, Detroit, Brooklyn, New York, Orlando, Chicago, Brooklyn. And then in April we do Atlanta, the Clippers back-to-back, the Lakers, Toronto, and close with Memphis. So if this team gets healthy and gets hot and goes on a small run in February, being the next 3 weeks are kind of them gelling together. If they come out of February 500, they're going to make a run in in March, and that's going to position them perfectly.
Yeah, San Antonio's on their rodeo trip, so they have 20 straight days on the road.
On the road, yeah.
Yeah, they've just played in Memphis. They played in Atlanta tonight. They got to go to Charlotte, Orlando, Washington, Boston, and then they finally play a game at home on February 20th against Phoenix. So they're on their little, and they'll play against Phoenix, and then they'll play at home against Detroit. Then they go on another road. They play 2 games back to back in New Orleans, and then they go to Houston, Memphis, and then you have Oklahoma City, Brooklyn, Sacramento, Minnesota. As you said, two games against Dallas in Dallas, 2 games apart. I mean, they have a very favorable schedule. I mean, they have obviously tough teams, but I think if San Antonio could stay at that, if they could get at that about 500 at worst, I think they make the play-in. Now, who they play against, imagine if they had to play Sacramento, that would be something.
Yeah.
But very possibly.
What's hurt Dallas this year is they lost 4 in a row, 1-2, lost 3 in a row, 1-1, lost 2 in a row, 1-2, lost 3 in a row. They've lost their last 3. Now, I know it's a trade deadline and we've got a lot going on. Luka hadn't played, he's only played 24 games.
Yeah,
that's what gets me, I think, excited about the trade. It's just like with Miami. Luka's played 24 games. So that means 26 games he hasn't played, and they're staying afloat.
Yep.
Now you add that other score. You add that other defensive presence.
I do want to say something crazy. De'Aaron Fox in his first game tonight, he had 24 and 13. 13 assists. I think what you said about him playing behind Paul, actually, you know what's crazy? Do you want to know who their starting lineup was tonight?
It was Fox, Paul,
It was Paul. Yeah, I was surprised to see Paul start because I really thought he was going to be – but, again, I mean, I had a feeling there's no way Pop didn't call Mitch Johnson and say, Mitch, you got to put them on the court at the same time a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I actually thought it was good. I thought they played well together. But, I mean, that's the most assists in a San Antonio's game and since December the 29th when Paul had 14. And then he had another 13 back in the beginning of December.
I'm gonna give you a – here I go again. I'm going to throw a hot take out to you. Paul just gained another year. Well, I guess another year and a half. He'll finish this year and play another year with the addition of Fox because a couple sequences that I watched tonight, Paul would deflect the ball or something like that and create a turnover, and Castle and Wemby and Fox would go on a fast break. And Paul wouldn't even cross half court. And it saved his leg. He is so good defensively, and so
Paul's actually a great defender.
Great defender, and I think that's going to help him.
Even at his age, he's still a great defender. Surprising.
And when he is ready to hang it up, I'm going to tell you what he's going to do. He's going to say, "Hey, Pop, let me move to the bench. Let me be your number 1 assistant." And he's going to coach Fox as a former guard from the bench. That's my hot take for you.
Listen, I mean, I when Paul signed with Golden State, when he signed with Phoenix, did he sign with Phoenix before Golden State or was it Golden State? No, he was with Golden State last year.
Oh yeah, no, remember he went to Houston.
He was Golden State, and he was at Houston. Then he went for a little bit, and then he went to Phoenix and Golden State, then San Antonio. When he signed with Phoenix a couple years ago, I was upset about that because I really wanted him to come to San Antonio. Because I always remember the battles with Paul and the Clippers and San Antonio back in the playoffs. It was every year, man, and like that whole Clippers team. And I mean, I know he has a mouth on him a little bit. He's feisty. He's a little feisty dude. But I just knew how his presence was. Like he's a great on the court coach. He's a great off the court coach, and he's a motivator. And so I knew what he would bring to that team. And so 3 years ago, I wanted him in San Antonio. And then when I found out this past offseason he was coming, I was like, man, like we're 2 years late with that. Like we should have had him. Like
but
I love
if you'd have had him 2 years ago, what are the chances y'all get Wemby?
Well, I mean, probably not very high.
Yeah. So
I mean,
it probably worked out.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I thought, man, listen, Fox, listen. I don't know. I mean, you watch some of the game. Fox looks so good. Once they get it going, the chemistry. I mean, they were up on Atlanta by 20. I think defensively, San Antonio is still missing something, or maybe it's just the whole figuring it out with Fox. I mean, because he's actually, like I said, I think he's a better defender than what people think he is.
Let me tell you who San Antonio is missing, and they can't get him now because he's been traded. PJ Tucker is somebody that would have been amazing for them. That's a guy that let me play defense. Like pay me $5 million a year. Don't ask me to score no points. Let me get rebounds, play defense, and foul.
Yep.
That's the kind of guy San Antonio needs.
They need somebody like that. I'm still shocked when I look on that when I'm on the court tonight and you see everybody's still there. Like Harrison Barnes played good. I mean, him and De'Aaron Fox played together at Sacramento, so they already have a little bit of chemistry. It just I'm excited for what they do. We're missing a big man, but I think that's something they do in the offseason or maybe even draft night. Who knows what happens? But I think currently with my team now, just speaking on my team in general, I think we make the play-in, and that's definitely a step in the right direction because I think we were like 14th or 13th last year in the final standings. So, I mean, great stuff. I'm excited to see what happens over this next 14, 15-hour period. I think again, personal opinion, I think we see one more big move. I don't know who.
I think Durant's the only other big move that could happen.
Yeah, I mean, and at this point, I don't know why. What? I mean, where do you send them to Dallas, and then what does Dallas give them? What's surprising to me is I saw that Devin Booker is the only one untouchable on that team.
Yeah. That's their franchise guy. I mean, I know it's weird saying that when Luka just got traded, like that was the franchise guy.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I don't think other organizations are as stupid as Dallas. And I say that, like I said, I say that, but I love the trade. Like I hate what we lost, but I love what we got, and I love where we're at.
Okay, and I do want to say this, like. Luka is not no different body wise than when he was in Dallas. I don't care what.
I don't know what they.
I don't know where those reports are coming from, but what I do want to say is this, and this is a fact. I know people hate LeBron, and yeah, there's a lot of LeBron haters, and I don't care. He doesn't bother me,
let me throw this in it. Let me tell you how much I don't like LeBron. I would have rather Colorado won the national championship than LeBron ever win another ring.
Wow, that's pretty. Yeah, that's bad because you hate Colorado.
I hate Colorado.
But I think for Luka, for him, if he gets traded, I mean, he did get traded, but with the trade, he actually went to the best situation he could have went to. Because it's bad. Listen, look, Pete. Like I said, people hate. I mean, you hate LeBron. I don't hate him. I don't care. Like I don't. I think he's a phenomenal player still at age 40. But to learn from someone like LeBron and to how to take care of your body and stuff, it's the right person. If anyone can get Luka on track in that department, if there is an issue, which there is, obviously, you could tell from year one to now he's put some weight on and not good weight. I mean, we know that it's obvious. He went to the right team and he's with the right person to get him back on track. That's facts. You can't deny that. Now for the team itself, they're not going to be as good as they're not great. Like the defensively they're hurting. I expect for them to get somebody. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Clint Capella somebody moved to the Lakers should get a big man before the trade deadline tomorrow because with what they have currently, they're going to be able to score as many points as they want. But the problem is they can't stop nobody.
Well, they're
Nobody.
gonna lose. They're gonna lose Connect or Austin Rivers. Whatever they do, one of them have to go. I've seen a Miles Turner trade for Austin Rivers and I forgot what else. And like 2 or 3 picks, something along those lines.
Now, if they were to get Miles Turner, this team is, man, I don't know. To me, it's always the role. Your stars are going to be your stars, right? But to me, the role players matter just as much as the stars. They do, and Connect's a great role player. Austin Reeves. Well, Austin Reeves is a starter for them. I don't know. That'd be interesting though. But I think that they got to find a big man. There's no way they just end this as it is now because it's not going to end up. It's not going to end up in their favor. I guess is what I'm trying to say. They've got to get somebody. Yeah. Dallas should stay intact. If I'm Dallas, I'm not doing anything else. I mean, me personally. Why? I mean, they actually have a heck of a roster. They just got their goal now is just getting healthy. That's it.
Just getting healthy.
Getting healthy. But great stuff with NBA, man. I mean, I'm excited to see what happens over the next 14, 15 hours. Not really much going on in college. I do want to say though, as funny as this is, that Iowa State did lose again Monday. They lost to Kansas Monday. So they're kind of on a trajectory downhill.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday. I'm just kind of going through games. Auburn beat out Oklahoma.
Destroyed them.
Yeah. And then Houston beat out Oklahoma State. Florida won. Purdue won. Michigan State lost to UCLA. And then St. John's. St. John's is 20-3, and they've only lost one Big East game.
Yep.
That's the sleeper team in the Big East. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're the number one in the Big East right now.
Kentucky losing by 14.
And you know who the coach is, right?
For who?
St. John's.
No.
It's the old coach from what's his name? You know him. It's Rick Pitino. That's who I was thinking of.
Oh, Pitino. Okay.
Yeah, he's their coach. I mean, so it kind of explains why. Well, they're
Oh, hey, just a little thing. Their 3 losses
are probably really good teams.
Yes and no, but they've been for a combined 5 points.
Wow. Combined?
They've lost to number 13 Baylor, 99-98. They lost to Georgia, 63-66. They lost to Creighton, 57-56.
Wow.
So they are literally 5 points from being undefeated and probably a top 5 team in the country.
Yeah, they're good. Ole Miss beat Kentucky. And that was pretty much the upsets in college. And then tonight, there's only, I think, a handful of games. Memphis beat Tulsa. Tennessee beat Missouri. Duke beat Syracuse. God, man, they clobbered Syracuse.
I'll tell you what I want to talk about. Let me see this right here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Was it tonight? Yeah. So shout out to Kansas State last night. No, I'm sorry, tonight. Shout out to Kansas State beating number 9 TCU, 59-50.
Is that on the girls' side, right?
On the girls' side, TCU 21-3. Okay, 21-3 for the TCU team, and Haley Van Lith is playing amazing right now. Amazing for TCU. She is averaging 18.7, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.5 steals. 45% from the field, which is a career high. 31 from the three-point line, not a career high, but still good. I mean, she is lifted that team to where they're at now.
Oh yeah, TCU is really good.
They're really good this year. And what was the other one that I wanted to talk about? Nothing to do with Thursday. Oops. Oh no! I think it's coming up. Let me see. I know I saw it.
Hey, real quick, I want to give a shout out to all the kids that signed today in high school football, like another signing day.
Yeah. I put out a bunch of fillers today to try to.
You did, yeah. We were supposed to have Chris Hernandez on. He's a wide receiver from Plano, but he had a family thing tonight, and so we rescheduled.
I even reached out to a young lady that's like some kind of ballet dancer type thing that signed with. Oh, I'll have to go back and find it, but it was like a Prestige Dance Academy or something.
Wow.
I thought that would have been pretty cool. Just check that out.
That would be cool.
So Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. Number 2 South Carolina traveled to your Texas, number 4 Texas Longhorns.
Oh, that's this Sunday.
This Sunday, 1 p.m. on
That's
ESPN, right before the Super Bowl.
Right, that's going to be a heck of a game before the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But, yeah, that was really all I had. WNBA-wise, I mean, the Fever.
It's kind of died down.
The Fever are a lock.
Yeah, I think the Fever are locked. I mean, I don't want to lock anything in, but the Fever are almost a lock to win the. Excuse me, to win the national. I mean, not national, to win the championship because they. Man, I mean,
they just keep adding. They keep adding everything. I mean, they add depth.
They're adding depth. They're adding veteranship. They're literally adding everything you need to put around Caitlin Clark. And who's the other? I can't think of the other young girl on their team that's only been there a couple years. Yes, they've literally done everything they could to really just. I mean,
small shout out to Kelsey Mitchell, A&M alumni.
I mean, they are really just. I mean,
and you know what's fun? I'm not gonna say it's funny because again, I don't want to get into this debate and all this kind of crap. But like,
I was thinking of by the way, I was thinking of Aaliyah Boston, the other young one, Aaliyah Boston,
from South Carolina. Yeah, they got her the year before they got Caitlin with the number 1 pick. So they had back-to-back number 1 picks, and like people were dogging on Caitlin, like, "Oh, you can't win a championship." If I got back-to-back number 1 picks, guess what? I sucked as a team. Like, I mean,
dude, this team is stacked.
What was I going to say?
Wow.
Oh, all these people that are signing with the Fever, the Chicago Sky wanted them. Like, they wanted them. But nobody wanted to go to Chicago. And another thing that I am super pumped for, the WNBA draft. Okay, I'm probably going to talk on this every time we have a show. With Dallas having the number 1 and the number 8 pick, that number 8 pick could be massive for the Mavericks because you're going to take Page 1. There's no doubt about it. And if I'm a WNBA team, I'm looking at what the other teams have done. Like, look at the Fever with Clark and Mitchell. Great dynamic backcourt. Build around that. Bring in the bigs later if you have to. Build you a backcourt in the WNBA. So you can go Mitchell at 1. You can go Page at 1. Then I think there's only 3 choices you look at. You look at the small forward from LSU. I think her name's Johnson. You look at Page's teammate, Asia Fudge. Or you go look at Haley Van Lith, who is right there in TCU. and you bring one of them three in, and you build around that. I think Dallas Wings' future is so. Look it up.
Yeah, their future is really bright. I mean, it really is. They have. I mean, when you have a top 10 picks, um, you're. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're winning. I mean, it's the future, and that's what the draft's for. It's for the future. It's to build for the future and to be able to, bring someone in and like Page, and then depending on what they do with the eighth spot, who's there, who's the best player left. They're on the right path, man, and kudos to that organization, man, because Dallas Wings, man, I mean, they used to be really good. It's funny as I can't remember who she was, but I got to watch her in high school. I went to an AAU tournament. This was years ago. I'd have to look her up, but she played for the Dallas Wings for a little bit, but she went to somewhere over in Dallas. She was a big.
What's up, Juan?
Hey, what's going on, Juan, man? But yeah, man. I mean, exciting stuff going on, man. We have a lot of like I said, a lot of the high school kids that we know. Some of them signed today. I don't know where Seth committed to. He did his today at 4:15. I need to. I don't want to ask him because if he, the plan is for him to come on at some point or do something with him. But
yeah.
I'm curious to where he went. I might go look on his Twitter just to be nosy. But congrats to him. Congrats to Ashton. Did you see where he signed?
Yes, I did. It is.
Did he go to Hendricks?
No, he did not.
He didn't go to Hendricks. Okay.
Hang on, let me pull it. I'm pulling it up right now. He went to. So remember the school that also offered two of his buddies?
That's where you went?
Culver Stockton College.
That's where you went?
All three of them went.
Dude, that is so cool, man.
So that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to all the kids that signed today. I mean, congratulations. That's a big step in all their lives. Yeah, it's awesome. Well, Derek, I mean, there's not really much going on with, like I said, the NCAA right now. I mean, there's there's some games on, but there's a couple days this week they don't even play, which I'm not sure what's behind that. But we'll see what happens with these trades. Hopefully, I mean, I want to see one more big one. Again, I don't know if I want to see some other good ones, something that's going to make an impact on some of these teams that can still compete. They're missing a piece or two. So hopefully we get that. And then we got Saturday. Saturday's gonna be fun. I'm excited about Saturday. We have we're
gonna do the network show.
We're gonna do the network show a little earlier. We're gonna do the network Super Bowl show Saturday at 7 p.m. Central. And
make sure y'all tune in. Not only Saturday. We'll have Jim Super Bowl picks.
Yes, Super Jim. Listen. We couldn't do a Super Bowl show without Jim involved.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Jim's been busy.
On
a good thing, but we've also got tomorrow. Don't forget, On Time Sports will be on the page. Casey
and William.
They'll be on doing their thing. They're going to break down the Dallas trade because when did it happen? Sunday, and their show Thursday. So we'll get a full take of what they think about it. Girls high school basketball is kicking off next week. So we'll be kind of I will not be covering it, but I'll be going to some games. Diana plays the number 9 team in the state, Hooks, in Dangerfield Monday. So
that'd be interesting.
We'll be at that one, yeah. And then Colt's dad is going to keep me posted. If they win Friday, they pretty much lock themselves into the playoffs.
Awesome, yeah.
So he's going to keep me posted with their stuff, and we'll go check out Colt's stuff. Got a couple baseball guys that we need to get out and watch. Maybe Cade from Moore City. Probably go watch him play. Simeon, one of our first ever guests we had on.
Yeah, I'm going to reach out to him. And by the way, this isn't set, but Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Saturday, depending on, I mean, we haven't really talked much about the whole
Yeah, I have to look at the schedule.
the Seth thing, but another thing is JC plays Saturday. The pitcher we just had on, they
Oh
have two
yeah.
games. They have 2 games Saturday in Tyler, and I want to take my daughter, so we might go. I might bring the whole family. I don't know yet. I don't know really what's going on. I haven't really figured it out. Because I was wanting to see what was going on with Seth. About his, commitment thing, because I would like to do something with him. I mean, he even said he'd come on if we couldn't do nothing in person. So it's not a big deal there. I'll have to get with him. But
I said, I mean, we could talk with them, and if anything, we might try to do like maybe like a Friday, the 21st. Have him and Ashton on back to back,
Yeah.
like we used to do on Saturday mornings.
yeah, like a back to back thing. Yeah.
Yeah, do a little small commitment show. We'll check it out. And
Yeah. That's actually not a bad idea, Derek. Let's think about our next Friday. Let's do that. Let's see if we can get them on back to back Fridays. Let's say and maybe start around 7 and get one on, and then right after the other one. That'd be good. I'd like that. I'll get in touch with Seth, talk with Ashton, see what what he
so
says.
we got the 21st and the 28th.
Okay.
So you just let me know which one they want, which one Seth can do, and I'll get with Ashton and knock that out.
Perfect. Yeah. Great show. It was mostly NBA. I mean, that's really what's going on right now. Kind of a slow week with everything else. It's just really NBA trade stuff and a few collegiate games. There's a lot of games this week. It's kind of, I think there's kind of some this weekend, but not very many this week. But we're guys, we're going to get into it. I was talking with Derek today. We're going to do a probably end of March, closer to the draft. We're going to do like a pre-draft type show where we're going to pick who our teams, which we have the same team. So, but we would pick who we think they should use their picks on and what they should do with them. So I'm excited about that. That's in April. So
I would not even be hard pressed to say, we'll talk with everybody, but
everybody do it. Yeah.
What do you think about a first round draft night show?
Yeah.
Thursday night. That could be like a network show.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
We'll just get with everybody and just kind of hang out one Thursday night. Everybody just kind of chill and break down draft.
Yeah, we could sit here and talk about the draft as it's going on and break down all the picks, and that'd be a lot of fun. I'd enjoy that. We could talk with everyone for sure. And guys, I mean, again, we continue to do this recruiting thing, and real quick, while again, guys, please follow us on all of our socials. We want everyone to come and check us out all the time, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. It don't matter. Checking out the streams, or if you're driving, listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you scan the QR code here, you can follow us on everything.
And if you or somebody is an athlete, maybe they signed this year, or even if they're like a junior or something. But we're talking with a freshman that's a swimmer. I mean, we want to hear the story. Like we want to, because there's a lot of stuff that we don't know. How the recruiting thing works, or like on the 16th of this month, we have a lady that's coming on. That's a lacrosse lady. I have no idea about lacrosse. Nothing.
I don't know nothing either.
I'm looking forward to learning from a D1 athlete. We want to hear you guys' story or your friend's story. So hit us up, on our Facebook page, direct message.
By the way,
everything.
Hold on. I actually have some news. Let me pull it up. I got a message from a 4-star offensive tackle out of Virginia.
I like it.
I'm excited because he's offensive line.
That's what you've been looking for.
So I've been looking for. He said he was good to come on sometime. He said sure. So he said he's 6'6", 292. He's a big kid.
Yeah.
He's like I said. He's from Virginia. So I'm gonna reach out to him some more and see what we can do with that and get him on. And man, I've been looking for an offensive lineman since we started this. I want an offensive lineman so bad. I don't know. It's just, I guess it's because what I played. So hopefully I can get that in the works and get that kind of scheduled. But that I did want to mention because I actually got a reply back from him. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm super excited about that. And hopefully we'll have that on the schedule sooner than later.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then like I said, everyone, Saturday, please be here Saturday. Saturday at 7 p.m. Central.
Saturday at 7.
We're going to have everybody on. We're going to talk about Super Bowl, talk about some different things with the Super Bowl. It's going to be strictly Super Bowl stuff. And then,
We're going to break down each position.
Yep.
Then at the end, we'll give our picks and kind of see where everybody lands come Super Bowl time.
Yep. It's going to be fun. So we appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate all the sponsors
Absolutely.
as always. Thanks for hanging out with us and conversating with us about basketball. It's a really big, we're excited about the basketball season. And Derek, if you have nothing else,
Nope, I'm good, man.
We will see everybody on Saturday. Like I said, we'll have the whole crew here. All 6 of us will be here, and we'll see y'all Saturday. Everybody have a good evening, and get ready for the Super Bowl because it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. I'm excited. So we'll talk about it with everybody on Saturday. Have a good evening.
Wait a minute.